before we get started, I just want to remind us that this presentation may have some forward-looking statements. So if you are going to make any purchasing decision, please keep those in mind. Okay, so we are in the agentic era. AI is not anymore assisting. It is actually executing tasks. It is shaping the outcomes by keeping the human in the loop. And this is happening in our daily life. It's also happening now in the workspaces. And the same type of shift is also happening in the analytics and data space, where we are moving from a world where the users are being hunters, where they are chasing a dashboard. They are looking to find a visualization, try to interpret that visualization to find an answer to their question, to a world where the right insight is delivered to the right user at the right business moment so that they can take actions where they work. So this is an incredible paradigm shift. While we are going through this shift with the technology advancements, we are being asked to make better, smarter, and faster decisions. But when it comes to making decisions, we actually already have a problem. When we look at the surveys, business leaders think that 47% of the time, when they make a decision, they don't trust the data behind the decision. So let's take a pause. That means more than half of the decisions, business critical decisions that are being made in an organization are being made with gut feeling and without really trusting the data. So when you combine that challenge with the fast-moving pace of AI agents, we have a bigger problem. So let's take an example. On this slide, you see like three business units. There is operations, there is supply chain, and then there's inventory. The VP of operation has a question, how much inventory do we have available? Well, the AI agent comes very confidently saying that 60,000 units. That's awesome. But 60,000 units may be the right answer, accurate answer, but it all depends on the context. So as a VP of operation, my context is operations. So I'm thinking that 60,000 units is the number of available units in my operation chain. But perhaps maybe the agent give that number because 60,000 units is what I have in inventory ready to be shipped. So if I take that context as a VP of operation as the number of units in the operations, I may make the decision to cut the production half, right? So this is a great example when you combine not having context with the fast manner of making decisions, then the AI agents providing an answer very beautifully, very confidently, can really take the business to a wrong direction. And I call this BCW. Very beautifully, very confident, and it's wrong. So we have been thinking about this problem when we start our agentic journey. And the way that we have constructed the product, we have had like 5 major product goals for us. Number one is we wanted to build the analytics, agentic analytics on top of trusted data. We wanted to make sure that that trusted data is combined with the right business meaning, with the context, so that the AI agents can provide the right accurate answers. We also wanted to use, of course, the visualization capabilities and the insight capabilities of the Tableau platform. And we wanted to make sure that the users can actually take actions when they get the insights. And finally, we want to make sure that we build an amazing analytics experience. A new experience that brings the human and the agent together so they can work and collaborate together. This is an experience where the humans bring their creativity, their curiosity, their domain knowledge, and also their technical skills, where the agents brings the speed, the automation. So with all of these combines, those 5 ingredients, the product North Star combined, we built Tableau Next so that the users, yourself, can just have conversations with the data. You can actually get to the insights proactively where you work. That could be an application like ServiceNow or Workday or Salesforce experience, or where you collaborate like Slackbot or Microsoft Teams. And so that like the agents and the users, humans working together, they can turn the data into insights. So while talking about turning data to insights, obviously the persona who is doing that is the analyst. So how many of you is the analyst in the audience? All right, yeah, we are data fam, right? Yeah. So being an analyst has a special meaning and value for me because I started my career as an analyst. And I know as you work with the analyst, like you get that dopamine, like when you find an insight. And that is the cycle of visual analytics, right? This is what Tableau has invented the last 20 years. So as an analyst, you kind of get this flow, like you have a hypothesis, you have a business question that you need to answer. You are looking for data, and then you start prepping data, messaging data, you start visualizing, and then you had your aha moment. Maybe you need to go back to the data preparation to change the data, come back to visualization, and then you find the insight, and then now you want to communicate that with the rest of the organization. Well, this is how we work, but even right now within the tools, we have we use fragmented tools, fragmented experiences. Even if you are using one tool, you are being asked to go to data prep, you are being asked to go to visualization, and then come back to data prep. So it is a broken flow. So when we were reimagining this end-to-end visual cycle of visual analytics, we said that, okay, it's time to take a step back and then think about how we can make this, much more better with the agent, where we can really create an environment and experience for the analyst that is providing a spectrum of working styles. If the analyst still would like to be 100% in control, they still have the tools. They just get their hands dirty and they do it. But if they want to automate some of those tasks like data preparation, then they can right away use their digital teammate, the agent, Tableau agent. Or they can work together collaboratively to get the job done. So I'm super excited to show you what we have built. So let me come to the demo. So for this part of the presentation, I'm going to act like I'm a business analyst. I'm Alex. I'm working for Data Depot. It's a gardening and home improvement store chain. And I just started the job. Like I'm already in a week in the job, and my boss is already kind of asking me questions because it's our spring season, and they want to kind of start a spring promotion. So with that, he wants me to analyze. Like the overall sales opportunities that we have for all of the product families. So again, I just started. I don't know what data sources we have, what data we have, what is the common data that's been used to analyze sales and promotion and customer behavior. Normally, I should be reading some data catalogs and asking my colleagues what data to use. But instead, in this new experience, I'm just coming to a conversation, and I'm just going to ask my question. Now, what is happening? Tableau agent, by using our new knowledge graph, is actually already aware of all of the data that exists in the system. It knows all of the metadata. It actually also knows all of the existing assets. Maybe there's already a dashboard that exists. Maybe there's a visualization that exists. So after it's understanding my intent, it actually went out and then find all of the tables, and then it automatically created a semantic model and created me an insight. Now here I can easily see the total opportunity by amount by industry. So this is probably a common user experience that you are seeing all over the place, right? All the market is talking about conversation analytics. But what is different in here is if I want to get my hands dirty and really go deep, I can get into the focus mode. Now, when I get into the focus mode, I'm just focusing on that insight that the agent has surfaced. Right away, I can see what data objects it used, what semantic model it automatically created under the hood. So this is very important, right? As a business analyst, I may like to create semantic model, but if I have a question, all I'm caring is I want to find an answer, an insight for that question. The nice thing is the agent is taking care of creating the semantic model. And then it's also telling me the visualization step. And within this experience, like the agent is still with me on the left side, and it keeps the context for me. But again, I'm a business analyst. I just want to do things, get my hands on this visualization. And with one click, I'm just going to go to edit. And now I'm in this beautiful Tableau visualization building experience. And I'm just going to make a couple changes on this visualization. Of course, I can add new dimensions. I can add new metrics. But this is the beauty. Like, I'm not just telling always the agent to do things, which I can. But here, I can just touch it. So I'm going to save it. So now my conversation is going to be updated with this new information. And now I actually have a next question where I would like to learn this information, the same type of thing, but now in this case, I want to analyze it by the store. So when I'm asking this question, again, the agent, one of the number one goal of the agent is to make sure that it doesn't continue to create new assets. So it's looking at the existing assets and then identifying if there's already an existing semantic model or the one that it just created can be reused by extending that existing semantic model with the additional data objects. So now it is going after that, the data sources. It is actually kind of updating and extending that semantic model to be able to generate the insight. Again, this is an experience where, at any point as a business analyst, I can open the semantic model. I can open the data object to do additional data prep. I can actually create the visualization, open the visualization builder. And the whole idea of this experience, to keep the business analyst still in control while they can do the cycle of visual analytics now in this new experience with the agent. And now the agent has created my second insights. Again, I have all of the details over here. The amazing thing, again, I'm just going through my thought process, and I can just click on my previous question. I can see what step it's taken. And here, it actually used the semantic model and then created additional insights. And again, right from here, I can open the semantic model and right in here, continue to do like additional things manually, or here I can still continue to use the agent to create a new relationship and so forth. So this is an amazing experience, and the whole purpose is while the agent is creating, I'm still in control. And by the way, if I come back to my workspace and if I open the workspace, all of the content that I just co-innovate, co-collaborate like together with the agent is actually in my workspace, those two visualizations and everything that's been created. So I hope you're excited, show me thumbs up if this is a good direction. Amazing, awesome, thank you. So the final thing that I would like to just briefly cover is actually just our roadmap. So we are going after all of the personas, not only the conversation analytics for the business users, but also as you have seen, analysis heart is in the heart, it's the center of everything that we do. So you will see more innovations coming in this conversational experiences, and then some of the proactive insights that we will be doing. With that, I would like to pass the ball to Lara Niemera to continue with the semantic model.
Elif talked about some of the agentic experiences that we have in Tableau Next. But it's really important to also ensure that all of these agentic experiences are grounded in a trusted foundation that enables that accurate AI. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So in an autonomous world, and as agents become a bigger and bigger part of our everyday lives, inconsistent logic really becomes a liability rather than an inconvenience. If you think about all the different business nuances, your organizational knowledge, the jargon that you leverage, that's vast across your different teams. So just maybe a show of hands here. When you think of all the different acronyms or jargon that you leverage, how many of you here actually do that across your organization? How many of you have terms like blue accounts, red accounts, or any other terms? I see quite a few hands coming up, of course. And so it's very important for the agent to really understand what those mean for your business, to understand those definitions in order for it to be able to come back to you with an accurate answer. And that's really what bridges that gap between data and having that actionable insight that you can trust, that you can make confident decisions on, and ultimately you can take action on or delegate to an agent to take action on for you. And at Tableau, we really believe that we are empowered to continuously improve the agent's logic, improve the agent's knowledge to drive more and more accurate response in the future. So with that, I'm going to be showing you a little bit about a tool that we have at Tableau Next called Q&A calibration that enables you to continuously improve the accuracy of your agent. So here I am, I'm looking at a metric, I'm looking at total margin, and I have actually a follow-up question that's a bit more nuanced. I want to know, show me the best product families and their margin percentage. Now, best could mean different things. It's very subjective. Do I mean orders? Do I mean revenue? what do I actually mean by best, right? That could really differ from team to team. And I want to ensure that my agent actually understands what I mean, and I want to ensure that I'm getting that accurate answer. So here it comes back to me and it actually asks me, could you clarify how you'd like to define best? I just want to take a pause here and just highlight one thing, is that the agent did not come back to me with a best guess. It wanted to make sure that it understood what I meant by best. And that is something that is integral and core to Tableau Next. The agent will never guess. It'll get back to you with an answer that is grounded in your trusted data, data that your data teams have governed, that is of high quality, and ensures that it best reflects all of that business knowledge that you have. So this wasn't able to get back to me with the right answer, so I'll just put it as inaccurate here. I'll go ahead and press submit. And now I'm going to put my hat on as a data analyst, and I'm going to go into Q&A calibration here. So Q&A calibration is a feature within Tableau Next that enables me to test, calibrate, and verify my answers, and that enables the agent to become more accurate over time, become more knowledgeable about my business over time, and ultimately know my business as well as I do, and have all that institutional knowledge. So here, this is the question that I got that the agent wasn't able to answer. Show me best product families. It ran that question again, and it gave me the same response as I got earlier on when we were on that metric page. So I'll go ahead. I'll mark it as inaccurate, and here I'll get two options. Either I can mark it as an unrecognized term or a calculation that's not supported. In this case, it wasn't able to recognize the term best, so I'll go ahead. I'll select that. And I'll type in, best product families was that unrecognized term. And I'll go ahead and I'll give it a quick definition. I'll say, rank by total orders. I'll go ahead and hit save and suggest calibration. So here what you're seeing on the right side is there's a calibration suggestion that was automatically shared with me on what I need to do to drive that accurate response in the future. So I'll go ahead, I'll hit calibrate. And as we'll see here, it's starting to draft a business preference. So here it's telling me that, when the user asks about product families, rank by total orders. So it took those couple of words that I input, it actually made it a complete sentence, and it's giving me that suggestion. This looks great to me. I'll go ahead and I'll hit add. I see here a whole list of different business preferences that I have across the organization, and this is the one that I have just input as part of my calibration. So again, I'm always in control. I have visibility. I am the one that decides if it gets input or not. The agent is helping me, but the agent is not taking over for me unless I want it to. So I go ahead, I hit save, and I hit retest, and automatically here, it's starting to retest that same prompt based off of the information that I just put in. So it's going into all the information that I have in my semantic model, my business definitions, my calculations, my relationships between my tables, and in addition to that business preference that we just input on what best product family means. It comes back to me. Great. It seems to understand what best means, but there's a question on margin percentage. Again, it is not guessing what I mean by that. So I'll go ahead, I'll mark it as inaccurate again, and this time it's a calculation that's not supported. So I'll go ahead here, I'll mark it as no because I do not have this calculation. I'll type in margin percent, and I'll put in the calculation that I want here, which is total margin divided by line item revenue. I'll hit formula and save and suggest calibration. Once more, it gives me a suggested calibration, and it's telling me, hey, you should create a calculated field. So I go ahead, I hit calibrate, and automatically what we're seeing here is that the agent actually generated the calculated field for me. So again, I'm able to check that all of this makes sense. I'm able to see, like, what is it called? What is the description? What are the decimal places even, and what does this calculation look like? This looks great to me. I'll go ahead, I'll hit save here, and I'll retest again. So once again, it is retesting based off of everything that I already have in the semantic model, in addition to that business preference that we just put in for best product families, and that additional calculation or calculated field for margin percentage, and it's getting that information together and giving me that response. So we'll see that come up in a second. Great. It knows now exactly what I mean. It's able to get back to me about the best product families. I see my margin percentage here. And I also get this beautiful visualization that is also interactive, giving me a preview of how the agent will respond with this now. And of course, I know that I can trust this because I can see the semantic model it's pulling that information from. So everything that we just calibrated is actually saved in that semantic model. This looks fantastic. I can go ahead, I hit verify. I mark this as a verified question, and I know that now that any future times that the agent is asked that question, it's going to get back to the user with this answer that is now verified and saved in the semantic model. So this is great. We have also a number of upcoming items on the roadmap that's related to semantics that we're super excited about. Recently, we released auto-generated semantic models, which enable you to generate your entire semantic model in natural language, semantic model AI optimization, as well as some other items coming up later this year, like the Pro Code experience, which enables you to create semantic models in code, as well as setting up actions within your semantic layer. So we talked about that trusted foundation. That's awesome. But we really believe here at Tableau and in Tableau Next that you need to have your actionable insights exactly where your decisions are made, exactly where your team collaborates, and right at the right place at the right time whenever you need them. So whether that's in Salesforce and you're looking at a dashboard, whether you're experiencing a full-page experience, whether you're in a third-party app, in Slack, on Microsoft Teams coming later this year, whether you're leveraging your agent of choice, whether that's Claude or ChatGPT or anything else, you should be able to get those actionable insights and be able to trust them no matter where you're working. And with that, I'm excited to be showing you Tableau MCP. So agents are becoming a bigger part of our days and our workflows. But if you think of a generalist agent, you can think of that as a brilliant new employee that has not worked a day at your company. They're excellent in executing tasks. They'll produce these beautiful visualizations for you. But are they accurate and are they based in your business, grounded in your business logic? Likely not. And they'll share them confidently, as Elif mentioned before, and that could really impact your businesses negatively, right? But with Tableau MCP, you're able to actually connect any agent of your choice, whether that's Claude, ChatGPT, you name it, with Tableau's trusted business context and logic and all the data that your data teams have really spent hours, days, years governing, building, and ensuring speaks your business language. And you're able to do that and ground all of the agent's responses in that. So here I've started this chat and I've asked, let's dig into my data depot retail data, and I'm already starting to see my data come through here. I'm going to ask a follow-up question now. I'm going to ask, give me the top 5 products by units sold. And again, as the agent is thinking, this is grounding the response in all of my semantic models, all of my data in Tableau to get me this answer. And so the agent here wouldn't be taking a best guess. It would be getting back to me with accuracy and with an answer that I know that I can trust, that's based in all of the definitions that I've defined in my semantic models, all the relationships there as well. And I'm starting to see that come through. Interior satin paint is my number one product, followed by drywall, interior, etc., so on and so forth. But as the model's thinking here, I want to take it a bit further, right? I want to know how my external factors are impacting my business, my business. So here I can ask a question very simply like, based on historical sales trends, how are tariffs impacting my product sales? Now, something interesting is happening here, right? Because it's combining my data at Tableau that I know that I trust, but it's combining it with external tariff data and trends, which typically wouldn't have sat in the same room, but here they are in the same room and kind of giving me that holistic picture and view. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to switch to this preloaded chat that I have and show you a couple of things here. So here's my question, and here I can see the tools that were actually that were called to give me that response. So I can see here, for example, that the semantic model was called in Tableau Next, and I can start to see that response that was generated here based off of it. Now, something I want to highlight is that the analyzed data is actually an action or skill within Tableau Next, and that was what was being leveraged to do that deep analysis and get back to me with an answer. So you have that much deeper and thorough analysis because you're leveraging Tableau Next here. So as I scroll down, I'm seeing that called again multiple times just to give me that response. All of this is my data within Tableau Next, so I know that I can trust it. I know that it is my data and it's my and it's governed data. Now below here, what I can see is I can start to see those external trends being pulled from the web that give me a bit more of an insight on what's happening with my trends because of tariffs and how is that potentially going to impact my business. So as I'm scrolling down here, I see that, great. It looks like my outdoor and garden are at the highest risk, followed by lawn and landscaping. So I start to get a better idea of, hey, what actions should I be taking next? So I've gone ahead and also populated a follow-up question here. I've said, given everything we've seen opportunities-wise, where should I focus my team's sales attention this week? And again, it gives me a plan of what my team should be doing as next steps. Close overdue negotiation, review deals, etc. And here again, it called 9 tools. All of these were analyzed data within Tableau Next. So these are my actions from Tableau Next. And that's also pulling from my sales data in Tableau Next to help me better inform what my team should be doing as next steps in terms of sales. So again, here, very clear steps that I can take back to my team and action on and really move from what happened to what happens next. What should I be doing next? What actions should I be taking next to ensure that my business is successful? And with that, I'll pass it over to Katie to walk us through a Slackbot demo.
All right, can you hear me? Great. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm switching computers because I'm showing you some stuff hot off the press in a dev environment. So let's fingers crossed it works well. But before we get started, I did just want to orient on what we just heard from Laura. So Laura just showed us what trusted Tableau intelligence looks like in any agentic surface, that you can bring it wherever you are working. Now, what I want to do is take it one step further and show you what that means when that intelligence becomes proactive. And what you're going to be seeing here is a brand new set of work. Wasn't in the keynote that we plan to bring to you all in the next couple of months, but it's really where Tableau Next and Slackbot come together to be that always-on analyst and proactively tell you what's going on in your flow of work. So let's pretend I'm a sales leader. It's Monday morning. I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing, what my team's going to be doing. The last thing I want to go do is ask a system a bunch of questions or hunt through dashboards or wait for someone to package up a pretty report for me. I don't have time for that. What I want to tell the system my intent, who I am, what I care about. In this case, I am doing so with a Slackbot skill where I am saying, okay, I'm a sales leader. I care about profitability, discounting. I like it broken down by region, by salesperson. I like information summarized in natural language, but please give me some visualizations to enhance what I'm seeing. And also make sure that you're pulling in context from Slack, because I don't just want the quantitative view of what's happening. I want the qualitative view as well. And send it to me every Monday morning at 9 a.m. That is what Slackbot and Tableau Next together will do. And I actually received mine just this morning. I'll move it over here. But Slackbot came to me proactively at 9 a.m. like I asked, and is wishing me a happy Thursday and telling me everything I need to know to start out my week on the best foot. So you can see here, my first insight is around discount versus profit. I have a nice visualization breaking that down for me. It's completely interactive. I have actionable takeaways from Slackbot. Again, it's looking at the data, but it's also looking at the conversations and the context throughout Slack that really enhance my understanding of what's going on. And then here, right at the bottom, I have my top 3 actionable insights. Again, I can ask Slackbot to give me more information, less information. Really, the world is my oyster in this case. But what it's saying is, do you want to create a canvas of those actionable insights that we can work with your team on? Yes, please. I absolutely do. And what Slackbot is doing now is it's taking all of that information and it's creating a canvas that I can now collaborate and work on with my team so that we can close out all those action items and do so in a place where we're already working. I'm not in Tableau Next. I don't care about those things as a sales leader. I just care about the information I need to do my job better. So it's generating that canvas. I already have it here just in case the internet was slow. But you can see it brings in all of my team members. What are the actions that they need to handle? And we can all collaborate on this together. Again, what you just saw is I gave the system my intent. and it proactively delivered me a brief that told me where to focus my time for the week. So we're very excited about this. Oh, my canvas is ready. And we are actually rolling it out internally to all of our sellers internally at Salesforce and Tableau this next week. So next up is all of you. All right, so going back to the theme that Laura teed up and what you just saw here, we have a very robust and exciting roadmap as it relates to delivering actionable insights where decisions happen. When we think about the first half of this year, it's really about all things proactive and interactive. So how do we deliver alerts to people where they're already working? How do we make our existing assets interactive and feel like they're Tableau, even if they're not in Tableau? And then when we get to the back half of the year, it's really about making things more conversational and contextual. So one of the big things we are working on as we speak, which I know a lot of people always ask about, is a Teams integration. What you saw with Slack was awesome. Many of you work with Microsoft Teams. That's a big investment area for us as well because many people work there. We need to deliver insights there. Okay, so the third pillar, I have 8 minutes. All right, so we showed you how we move from raw data to trusted insights. We then showed you what those insights look like when they're delivered in the flow of work. The third piece is really what I'm sure a lot of you care about, given your analysts, is what happens when you need to go deeper than what that initial insight tells you? The power of Tableau is that exploration and analysis and hypothesis testing. We want to show you what we are doing to bring that use case into the new agentic era. So I'm going to show you a quick demo. I'm going to fly through it, but really 3 things for you to look out for is how you as an analyst can scale trusted data exploration by collaborating with context. You can expand your analysis on governed data and then show you the process of how you iterate, refine, and extend, all based on this AI accelerated foundation where the analyst is always in control. The analyst has the judgment. They know what matters. The agent is going to help them get to a starting point faster, do some of the annoying mechanical work, and carry the context throughout for them. All right, so let's start in a collaboration tool, because this is a lot of times where things start, where if I'm an analyst, I will get a ping from one of my stakeholders, and you can see here we have a QBR next week, and Erin, our head of sales, wants to update the dashboard, which I'm sure you all deal with a whole lot. She's very clear. She wants to see a conversion funnel, product performance broken down by various categories, and then look at it from a regional perspective. So the first thing I want to show here is I'm an analyst. I get this request. I want to make sure I understand all the conversations happening around this data within my collaboration tool. This is a little slow because of the internet, but what you're seeing here on the right is all of the threads and all of the conversations that I have access to. It's respecting my governance, where it's referring to this dashboard, which is really helpful for me before I go in and start making edits. I want to see what other people have done, what they're talking about, whatnot. So in this case, I'm going to jump right into Tableau next. As an analyst, this is where I spend a lot of my time. First thing I want to quickly show is the workspace. So this is where I'm going to start my journey in updating this dashboard. Here I have my collaborative hub where I can see all of my analytical assets, dashboards, visualizations, metrics, semantic models, data objects, all here together. I can share them as a package. I can share them individually, but it's really my collaborative workspace. I can look at the lineage view to see how all of these things relate, which is really important. If I'm going to make an update, I want to know the things that are going to happen downstream, all the other pieces impacted. Here I can see that the dashboard that I'm being asked to update is based on this Data Depot Customer 360 semantic data model. It has all of our sales, marketing, and service data. I'm going to go here and I can easily get to the visualization, authoring, creation process that many of you know and love. We are continuing to expand the visualizations we support. The first one I want to show you is, let's do opportunity stage, because this is what Aaron asked me for, by weighted pipeline. Cool. So, and you can see here on the right, the Tableau is going to suggest which visualization makes sense based on the underlying data. In this case, I want to do a funnel chart. What else can I do? I can see the entire view. I want to filter out close lost and close won. I just want to show the team, here, the latest and greatest. I can filter or sort by stage. I can apply colors, all the things you know and love. I can do that. Here, we also now support heat maps. We support tables and actionability within those tables. Sorry, I'm just looking at the time, but let's go straight to the table view, because I think this is really important and really shows us how we're moving into a new era of agentic analytics. So in this case, I'm looking at my table. Sometimes a table is the best view. It's not a lesser chart. It's just a different analytical asset. But what I might want to do is create an action so that when my users see something of interest, they can easily take action from that dashboard and not have to go to a whole different system. They're not swivel chairing, they're all in the same place. So in this case, let's do Salesforce action, opportunity ID, and let's say they might want to create a new task. Done. Perfect. So now I have this action here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring us back into the dashboard. And I want to bring the new analytical assets. Pretend I created 3 new ones because I was going to show you 3. But we have the heat map, we have a map, we have our funnel chart. In this case, I want to add now my funnel directly to the dashboard. You can see it'll adapt to the layout because the last thing you want to do is deal with moving pieces around after you have to add something new. I can even add a parameter. Which I know is a huge customer request we have had. Oh, it's being slow. Anyway, and then I can also show you when everything will filter and kind of come together based on the latest and greatest. So if you want to do more of the dashboard build experience, I can show you more of it later. But really what I want to get to in my last 50 seconds is the fact that we are doing a lot here. We've heard you. We know there's a lot to be done to get to the visual exploration experience we all know and love from Tableau Classic. The first half of the year is really focused on a more fluid and interactive experience for our builders. We want them to have the toolkit to do their jobs and scale and move faster. And then the back half of the year is really focused on making things more connected, extensible, and composable. So we're investing heavily here, but really what I want to leave you with in the last 10 seconds is Tableau Next is not just a new UI. It is not Tableau with a chatbot. It is a reimagined analytics experience built for this new agentic world that we have entered together. And it's based on 4 principles. 1, trust is paramount. As you saw earlier, AI is only valuable if it understands your business. That is number 1. Number 2 is proactive insights is the way that we will go wall to wall within organizations and really truly make people data-driven. Number 3 is the analyst is more important than ever. Their insights and their work are going to scale even more across organizations. So we're really excited to give you all and our analysts the tools to do so. And then finally, we never want to lose the joy of why we all love Tableau. The visual exploration. We are providing that all to you, but in a way that is more built for the new world we're in. A world that is conversational, it's proactive, it's contextual, it's actionable. And we're excited to go there with you all. We'd love to hear your feedback and excited to see how you take all of these new innovations to your companies. Thank you.